Imagine walking into an arena where losing simply isn't possible. One team went 50-1 at home, turning their court into sacred ground. Another that broke the game with 72 wins and only 10 losses, setting a standard no one thought could be matched. And some were so ruthless, they tore through the playoffs 15-1 or 16-1, turning basketball's toughest stage into a bloodbath. These weren't just great teams, they were inevitabilities. Machines built for dominance. Dynasties that crushed opponents before the opening tip, rewrote record books, and left echoes that still shake the game decades later. In 78 years of NBA history, thousands of teams have come and gone, but only a handful reached a level so absolute, so ruthless, that winning wasn't a goal, it was a guarantee. This is NBA Explained, and today we're breaking down the 5 most unstoppable teams in NBA history. 1986 Celtics, Bird's unbeatable army. The 1986 Boston Celtics weren't just a basketball team, they were a fortress. At the center of it all was Larry Bird, in the middle of his 3 straight MVPs, playing the game like it was chess while everyone else was still learning checkers. He could shoot, pass, rebound, trash talk you into the ground, and then back it up every single night. But Bird wasn't alone. This team was stacked with Hall of Fame talent. Kevin McHale's unstoppable post moves, Robert Parrish's size and consistency, Dennis Johnson's perimeter grit, and the ultimate X factor, Bill Walton, the former MVP who came off the bench and turned their front court into an unsolvable puzzle. The numbers tell the story. Boston went 67-15 in the regular season, but the real dominance came at home. They finished 50-1 in the Boston Garden, including the playoffs. 50 wins, 1 loss. That's as close to perfection as you'll ever see. And the playoffs? They weren't just victories, they were statements. First up was a young Michael Jordan, fresh off a broken foot but already terrifying. In Game 2, he dropped a jaw-dropping 63 points. The most ever scored in a playoff game. The Celtics still won in double overtime, and afterward, Larry Bird said it best. That was God disguised as Michael Jordan. Even the greatest performance of Jordan's career couldn't break Boston's shield. The Celtics swept the Bulls 3-0, proving there were levels to greatness. From there, they rolled through Dominique Wilkins' Hawks, dismantled the Milwaukee Bucks, and crushed Houston's Twin Towers of Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson in the finals. Bird sealed the deal with 29 points, 11 rebounds, and 12 assists in Game 6, raising Boston's 16th banner. What made this team unstoppable wasn't just the talent, the coaching, or the numbers. It was the aura. When you walked into the Garden that year, you weren't hoping to win. You were hoping to survive. This was Bird at his peak, and the Celtics at their most untouchable. But if the Celtics built a fortress in '86, the very next season, the league would witness something different. A team that didn't just dominate, they dazzled. 1987 Lakers, Showtime at its peak. If the 1986 Celtics were a fortress, the 1987 Lakers were a fireworks show. Dazzling, explosive, and impossible to contain. This was Showtime perfected. Magic Johnson had taken full command of the league, winning MVP and running the floor like a maestro with a basketball baton. The breakneck pace, the no-look passes, the alley-oops. The Lakers didn't just beat you, they embarrassed you. Every fast break felt like theater, and the Forum became basketball's Broadway. Magic had help everywhere. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, at 39 years old, still had that unstoppable skyhook. James Worthy was flying down the wings. Byron Scott spread the floor, and Michael Cooper locked up the other team's best scorer. Together, they had every answer. The regular season record, 65-17, only hinted at what was coming. In the playoffs, they shredded their way through the West and set up the ultimate showdown, another finals clash with the Boston Celtics. This was the 3rd chapter of the Magic-Bird rivalry, and the stakes had never been higher. Game 4 in Boston was the turning point. Down 1 in the final seconds, Magic drove into the lane, lofted a baby skyhook over the arms of McHale and Parrish, and buried it. The shot stunned the Garden into silence. and it crushed the Celtics' last hope. The Lakers went on to win the series in 6 games, cementing their place as the team of the 1980s. The '87 Lakers weren't just unstoppable because of their talent, they were unstoppable because of the fear they put into opponents. You couldn't run with them, you couldn't slow them down, and you couldn't survive Magic's Showtime machine. The Celtics had the fortress, the Lakers had the stage, but soon the NBA would belong to a different force entirely. A dynasty built not on flash or speed, but on pure, ruthless domination. 1996 Bulls, 72 wins of immortality. The 1980s had belonged to Magic and Bird, but by the mid-1990s, the NBA was no longer a rivalry. It was a reign. Michael Jordan had returned from retirement with something to prove, and what followed was basketball's version of perfection. The 1995-96 Chicago Bulls didn't just win games, they redefined what dominance looked like. They stormed through the season with a record-breaking 72-10, a mark so untouchable it stood for 2 decades. Every night felt like a showcase. Jordan was back on top, averaging 30 points and taking home MVP. Scottie Pippen was the ultimate two-way weapon, guarding the league's best while still filling up the scoreboard. And Dennis Rodman, he turned rebounding into an art form, hauling in boards like his life depended on it. Add in Tony Kukoc, Ron Harper, and the triangle offense under Phil Jackson, and you had a machine with no weaknesses. The playoffs only confirmed the inevitable. The Bulls ripped through Miami, took down the Knicks, and handled Shaq and Penny's Orlando Magic, the very team that had beaten them the year before. Revenge was complete. In the finals, they faced the Seattle Supersonics, the West's top seed with Gary Payton and Shawn Kemp. Seattle fought hard, but this was Chicago's year. The Bulls finished them in 6 games, and Jordan clinched his 4th title on Father's Day. A moment soaked in emotion as he collapsed in the locker room, clutching the game ball. What made this team unstoppable wasn't just the record or the rings, it was the inevitability. You could game plan, adjust, fight, and claw. But deep down, everyone knew how it would end. With Jordan holding the trophy and the Bulls standing on top of the world. The '96 Bulls became the standard. But just when it seemed like no one could match their legacy, another team would come along years later. One built on sheer power and fueled by hunger, tearing through the league in a way that even Jordan never did. 2001 Lakers, the 15-1 rampage. The 1996 Bulls set the standard, but 5 years later, a different kind of monster took the floor. One that didn't just dominate, it bulldozed. The 2000-2001 Los Angeles Lakers entered the season as defending champions, but their regular season was far from flawless. They won just 56 games, and tension between Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant bubbled underneath. To outsiders, it looked like cracks in the dynasty. But when the playoffs started, those cracks vanished. What followed was the most destructive postseason run in NBA history. Shaq was unstoppable in the paint. At his peak, he looked less like a player and more like a force of nature, averaging 30 points and 15 rebounds a game, dunking with such violence that defenders were left staring at the rim in disbelief. And alongside him, a 22-year-old Kobe Bryant had fully arrived. No longer the kid chasing highlights, Kobe became Shaq's equal, dropping 48 points in a series-clinching win against the Kings and delivering dagger after dagger on the road to the finals. The numbers still don't seem real. The Lakers went 15-1 in the playoffs, sweeping the Blazers, Kings, and Spurs before crushing Allen Iverson's 76ers in the finals. Their only loss? Game 1, when Iverson scored 48 and stepped over Tyronn Lue in one of the most iconic moments in finals history. After that, Los Angeles never lost again. This wasn't just dominance, it was demolition. The 2001 Lakers didn't grind out wins. They buried teams. Shaq's finals MVP was a foregone conclusion, and the Shaq-Kobe duo cemented itself as one of the most unstoppable pairings in sports history. The Bulls had perfection, the Lakers had destruction, and years later, the league would meet a team that blended both dominance and inevitability into a modern-day super team that felt like basketball's ultimate cheat code. 2017 Warriors, the super team nobody could touch. The 2001 Lakers bulldozed the league with power. But in 2017, the NBA witnessed something new. A team so loaded, so precise, that it felt like a video game set to impossible. The Golden State Warriors had already changed basketball with Steph Curry's limitless shooting, Klay Thompson's firepower, and Draymond Green's all-around brilliance. They'd won 73 games in 2016, but the season ended in heartbreak with a Game 7 loss to LeBron James and the Cavaliers. So in the summer, they added one more piece. Kevin Durant, one of the most unstoppable scorers the game had ever seen. It wasn't fair. Durant fit seamlessly into a machine that was already humming at historic levels. Curry and KD shared the floor without ego. Thompson stretched defenses to the breaking point, and Draymond anchored the defense. Every possession felt like a no-win scenario. Guard Curry too close, and KD punishes you. Double Durant, and Klay splashes a three. Leave Draymond, and he finds the open man. The results were historic. Golden State finished 67-15, but the regular season was only a preview. In the playoffs, they tore through the league with a near-perfect 16-1 run, the best postseason record ever. Their only loss came in Game 4 of the Finals, when Cleveland put up 137 points just to survive another day. The next game, Durant drilled the dagger three over LeBron in Cleveland, sealing the championship and his first Finals MVP. What made this team unstoppable wasn't just the talent, it was the inevitability. Against most dynasties, you could at least hope for a weakness. Against the 2017 Warriors, there was nothing. They weren't just better, they were inevitable. The Celtics built a fortress. The Showtime Lakers dazzled. The Bulls defined perfection. The Shaq Kobe Lakers destroyed. And the Warriors, they broke the game. These weren't just champions, they were inevitabilities. This was the 5 most unstoppable teams in NBA history. Explained. And as always, stay legendary.